Hi guys, my name is Jade, and I'm going to be talking about comparing yourself with others. For the past few weeks, it's something that I've been struggling with, so I thought I would just speak about what I've learned, or what I've share what I've learned so far. So when you compare yourself, there's two things that it can affect you in two ways. You can either make you feel inferior or superior. Sorry. So let's say this person A is over here, and they're better at you at something, and you're comparing yourself to that person. That can make you feel like, oh, I'm useless kind of thing. I'm not as great as them. Or like person C, you see them. You see that you've got a better talent. You're not a better talent. You're better at something, doing something than they are, or you're more skillful than they are, and that can make you feel like, oh, I'm not as bad as they are, so I'm great, and it'll make you feel like you're above them. But by comparing yourself to other people, what you're doing is you're looking at other people to validate yourself. You're looking at other people to as a point of approval kind of thing, as a way to kind of measure if you're doing good or if you're doing bad, when really and truly Christ is who you're meant to be mirroring, and not other people who are also trying to be like Christ. And yes, some of these people can be great influences in your life, but they're not the standard. Christ is the standard. And yes, there's some people that you might be there to help, but yeah, Christ is the standard at the end of the day. It's not we're meant to be followers of Christ, not other people. Okay, so let's look at Galatians 4 verse 6 verse 4, sorry. And it says, "But let each one examine his own work, and then he will have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another." So for those people who feel superior after comparing themselves to other people, after using other people to judge whether they're good, after you're actually deceiving yourself. What we're actually meant to be doing as Christians is kind of examining ourselves to see if we're actually following Christ. Are we actually doing that? Looking at other people and determining whether you're on the right track through what other people are doing is not the right way to go. When we start comparing ourselves with other people, we actually aren't walking in faith anymore. Like, faith has gone out the window. You're literally walking by sight now. You're looking at what God is doing in other people's lives, but you're not focusing on your own self. Like, sometimes we can be so focused on what God is doing in other people's lives, when it's more about like what can God do through you, but you're so focused on other people. How are you meant to focus on what God wants to do through you? Let's go to Ecclesiastes, I can't say it properly, 4 verse 4, and that says, "Again, I saw that for all toil and every skillful work a man is envied by his neighbour. This also is vanity and grasping for the wind." Okay, sorry, let me just explain a bit about Ecclesiastes. So this book was written by a king called Solomon, and he was really wise, like the wisest person that lived. So yeah, loads of concubines, rich, he's really rich and he's doing well, and this bit is just talking about what he has observed so far. So sometimes our motivation to do something is competition. Our drive to do certain things is because we're competing with other people. It's because of what other people are doing. When that's kind of, he says here, it's grasping the wind. So that's kind of pointless kind of thing. But is Solomon saying that we shouldn't try and better ourselves? Is he saying that we should just become complacent? Is he saying that we shouldn't try and improve? No, that's not what he's saying. Because if we go to verse 5, the verse below, it says, "The fool folds his hands and consumes his own flesh." So he's not saying that you shouldn't try and be better at your skill, become a better person in something that you struggle with. But he's saying that you shouldn't compare yourself with other people. So if we go to verse 6, it says, "Better is a hand with quietness than both hands full, together with toil and grasping for the wind." The better is one hand full, so one hand's full, and then in the other hand, God can still pour in and God can take out kind of thing. But if both hands are clenched, if both hands are like, oh, that person's got this, I need to get that too. If you're so like worked up or more concentrated on like grasping things that other people have, like, oh, that person over there has got this, I need that too. Oh, why haven't I got this? You can't receive anything. Like, your hands are full, and yeah, there's always something that you can't get. So yeah, and there's no peace with you trying to compete with others. There's no peace with you trying to compare yourself. Okay, so let's go to Matthew 25, verse 15. It's a bit long. Bear with me. Okay, so it says, and to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them, and made another 5 talents. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You are faithful over the few things, I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of our Lord. He also, who had received 2 talents, came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I have gained 2 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things, I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered. And I was afraid, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, here is what is yours. But the Lord answered and said to him, You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers. At least at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. If you look at the person with 5 talents and the person with 2 talents, if you look at their response, and then if you look at the person with 1, he was almost blaming God. And that's the same thing that we do when we compare ourselves to others. It's like, God, you made a mistake. You should have made me. I should have been born into a wealthy family. I should have had a thinner waist. I should have had broader shoulders. It's like you're blaming God. But the thing is, the master here was angry because the servant did nothing with what was entrusted to him, and that's the same with us. God has made you in a specific way. He didn't make a mistake. He's made you an individual, and there's no one else that is like you. The Bible says, everyone knows this verse. What's it again? I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. He made you fearfully and wonderfully. There's no one else that is like you on this earth. And it's like, what are you doing with that? Even the good things and the bad things about you, what are you doing with what God has given you? There's loads of things that make you. You're unique, and there's something that makes you unique. But what are you doing about what God has given to you? Because at the end of the day, we are going to have to give an account of what we have done with what God has entrusted with us. It's not what God has entrusted with us. It's what we do with what God has entrusted with us. And as you can see, the guy with 5 and 2 talents brought more. They multiplied, and God gave the master in this parable gave them more responsibility. And it's like, the more you're able to do. If you're able to do more of what you have, I guess the more opportunity you'll be able to get. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end there. But I just want to ask you guys a few questions. I just want to ask you a few questions. 1, what is your mirror? Like, who do you look to validate yourself? Is it the people around you? Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Are they who you're trying to mirror, or is it actually Christ? Who do you look to validate yourself? Is it Christ, or is it your friends? Are you looking at them to see if you're on track? Because sometimes you might be looking at someone who's actually off track, but then you're thinking, I'm way better than them. But you're still off track. You're not actually on track, even if you are at a better position than someone else. Is there anyone that you know right now, or that you secretly like to see fail? Because that is, if there is, then you have the same issue too. Like, you should be able to celebrate other people, and even if they are doing well, your time will come too, hopefully. I'm joking. Your time will come too, and it should be like, we're able to celebrate with someone with our whole heart, not like, okay, this person's doing well, what about me kind of thing. You're not that person, you should celebrate with them. But and do you see yourself in the way that God sees you? Because that is really important. As Christians, we need to be able to see ourselves in the same way God sees us. So, that's it for me. Have a nice day.